I've met Dustin Pedroia plenty of times before. I've been in the Red Sox clubhouse a couple of times this season, so it's not like I've been absent. But the greater point here, frankly, is that if that's the best thing that you can come up with, I don't know the guy, as opposed to what he's writing and saying is incorrect, then obviously there's some merit to the report. And trust me, I sat on this thing for a couple of weeks when I heard it from a very good, very plugged-in source the first time because I wanted to get confirmation. And obviously their ship is not as tight as they think it is because I was able to get a couple more people on top of that to talk about this. And it's a bad situation. And Dustin Pedroia can characterize it however he wants. The fact is, he was one of the ringleaders in that meeting, and Adrian Gonzalez was front and center as well after sending that text message. And it's obvious that the Boston Red Sox, not all of them, not all the stars, not all the big names, but a lot of them do not like Bobby Valentine as their manager and would prefer somebody else. And I don't know whether that's contributing to the fact that they're 57 and 60 and in fourth place in the American League East, or if it's something else, but this is a dysfunctional team, and I feel like this is the tip of the iceberg, to be honest, that there's a lot more that's going to come out about this as this team devolves towards September.
Well, I guess that's the next thing. How bad is it, and where does it go?
Look, there were some things that I was not able to confirm with other sources about the discontent with Bobby Valentine. So it doesn't just start and end with leaving John Lester in and Will Middlebrooks getting the little sarcastic comment and things along those lines. I mean, there's more. And it's not like, the Red Sox are sitting here and coming out publicly now and saying we like Bobby Valentine, we want him, and that's actually truthful. I think that the bigger part of this story maybe that's getting underplayed, and perhaps because the salacious aspect of this meeting and of players practically mutinying, is that there were a handful of players, guys, who didn't show up to that meeting. And by not showing up to that meeting, you're not necessarily saying that you're backing Bobby Valentine. What you're saying is you don't agree with the idea that this warrants a meeting. And there are players in the Red Sox clubhouse who think those complaining about Bobby Valentine are doing so unfairly, and that maybe instead they should look in the mirror and see what their statistics and what their numbers and what their production are this season, and take some ownership for that.
What can you tell us about the relationship that Bobby has right now with the very top levels of ownership all the way down through the GM, Ben Cherington? How much support does he really have?
Honestly, I think the support from ownership is really good. And I think it gets back to the fact that Larry Lucchino in particular does not want to look stupid for making a bad hire as manager. Bobby Valentine may not be the right guy, but say he's not the right guy. It was barely 100 games into the season when this meeting took place. To management seemed a little bit preemptive. And just the whole culture throughout that organization right now is toxic. Players don't trust management. Players think management leaks stuff, and you can understand why after seeing how Terry Francona was done dirty as he left the franchise last year. And that sense of, distrust, mistrust, paranoia even, has pervaded to the point where now you just have these two sides that don't look at each other with any level of rationality, unfortunately. I mean, a lot of those guys went into the meeting figuring that they were airing their frustrations and that something was going to be done about it. But when nothing was done about it, I think that the Red Sox players started to understand that Bobby Valentine's going to be around for at least the remainder of the season, and that instead of sitting there and pissing and moaning about it, they might as well just come to terms with it and deal with it, because that's reality.